bit and lines?
So for songs, it's like I have the guitar and I just either go off of my journal or I just like sing nonsense until I find little bits and pieces that I like and then write them down. And then with writing screenplays now, which I just finished my second one, a feature length called The Space Between, which I'm really excited about. That, I don't know, I don't do it normal, I don't think. In the sense that I was starting to write and my producing, I wouldn't say partner, but really she's the producer now. Jessica was like, can you send me an outline? I definitely don't do outlines. I've never taken a class, so I just sort of write. I've just read so many scripts, I know the format and stuff, and then I just write, and then the story just kind of, that's the only way I know how to write, it just kind of tells itself, and then and I've developed this thing with this girl, Jessica, where I'll send her where I've gone, and then she'll send notes back and redirect me if I need to be redirected. Like, we've figured out a really good rhythm between us that I'm definitely enjoying. The other thing that I do, when it gets, so first I'll write the script, and then with like lines and bends, I haven't done a feature yet, so I'm not sure how that process will be, but what I found with lines and bends is that when it comes time to the actual shooting script where I have all the shots and all that, I have to do it to music. And that's why they sort of become like little music videos in a sense, because I pick the music first. That's what I did with lines and bends. We'll see how the rest of my career goes, but and then I'll just keep playing that's the song, and then I'll write the shot list, and and then the scene will sort of take its own life, and I'll have to rewrite it a little bit to fit with the song. So far, people tell me, do not do that. Like, editor is like, don't do that. But so far, it's worked out perfectly. Like, I write exactly, like I have timer, I time out exactly beats, and for both bends and lines, it landed exactly where I wanted it to. So maybe it's just a quirky little way that I have, and we'll see what happens next. I don't know. I'm open to evolving and having that change. I'm talking way too much about this. Can you tell I love it? Do I love it?
So any other Mike?
The first taste I got of your exploits in music was a movie about Sweetwater. What are some of your thoughts on that?
Oh, that was a very fun experience. So that was VH1's first original movie. I don't think they do them anymore. Does VH1 even still exist?
Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Okay.
Just horrible, trashy, reality shows.
Oh, okay. Well, they used to do original movies. I don't know if you remember, maybe, I think it was like 99 or something like that, 1999. So anyway, they cast me in this movie called Sweetwater, and I got to sing the entire soundtrack, and I worked with, who was the producer? He produced all the music. I'm so bad with names, you guys, it's horrible. But he was very famous. Really good. Anyway, forget that. God, what was that guy's name? He was in a band in the 60s and with his brother. Anybody? Who?
Was it one of the Allman Brothers?
No, but in that genre of music. Getting closer? Anyway, we'll Google it. So that was awesome. So I got to go in his studio and work with him. And then we shot in Vancouver. And it was fun, all the wigs and I don't know. I was 29 at that time. I think that was such a good age. I felt beautiful, I felt skinny, I felt great, I felt sexy at that time. So it was just a fun role to play, and I had a blast. I look back on that very, very fondly. Yeah.
Was he just the producer?
Of the music.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, and let's go over here.
No, he's the music producer. Yeah.
Hey Amy,
Hi.
I'm Andrew from Brooklyn, New York. So
Hey, Andrew.
I'm really like excited to talk to you. It's awesome. I'm like new to your music career, but are you like more open to like percussion? I'm a drummer, and I would love to be a drummer if you ever were so inclined to that. But are you open to, since you said like your songs are kind of like mellow, and if you like raised up the tempo, would you be open to something like that?
Yeah, well, if you have you heard the album? Have you heard it live? Like
No.
this Cracker Jack?
I'm gonna go to your concert in New York. I'm gonna go to that David Yost thing he's doing.
Oh, nice. Well, the show in New York is still going to just be exactly what you saw here, like acoustic and without a band. But the album, which is available on the back if you want to get one, is plugged in. And there's drums, like Cracker Jacks really kicks in. There's electric guitar. And the album I had before, the first album I ever did was called The Trans-American Treatment. And that, my boyfriend at the time was a rocker, and he produced the album, so it has a real rock feel to it. But you know, I love percussion, and I love when, like, on my stage at shows, I don't know if you guys have ever tuned into those. My friend Laura Lynn, she plays the bongos very lightly, but it adds a whole level that I love, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we'll take one more question in the music section.
Sorry, I'm pointing to the wrong person.
Okay, no, we'll do one and then two. Yeah.
Okay.
My name's also Andrew. I'm from here in Kentucky, though.
Every Andrew, stand up. No.
But I'm a high school teacher. I teach English and fine arts, and I'm also co-directing the drama plays this year. And we're doing our first musical ever. I was wondering if you had any advice on how I can get other people to sort of buy into the process, because I'm going to direct, and I'm trying to get these kids used to singing live and dealing with microphones and stuff. I was wondering if you have any sort of tips to help them with the process.
God, I don't even know. I guess just doing it. You just gotta get up there and do it. They're high school, right? Experience, I think, is really it. Like just imagine everybody in Power Ranger outfits. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how to. Yeah, my first thing that comes to my head is just experience and practice. And, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So is the guy in the back with the? You want to just yell your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You've done a whole bunch of different types of music stuff, like Broadway and VH1
Well,
movie.
I tried
Well,
to be off-Broadway. I don't know if you heard the story.
would you ever be open to trying one of those reality music singing competitions, like The Voice or whatever?
You know, I don't know. I think I'm too old for that one.
No.
My friend Tony Luca did it. Do you remember Tony? He was on it a couple years ago. He did really well. I think he came in second, didn't he? I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. Like Dancing with the Stars or something? No, I haven't thought about it. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on that.
You ever get any offers on that?
And the other thing is I have a really hard time singing covers. Right? Although I'm starting to like karaoke a lot now.
What's your go-to song for karaoke?
Well, of course, Totally Eclipse of Love, right? Oh, and you know what the other one is? I love Pink. Pink, to me, is my favorite. That was Jason. I'm like, why is Jason in a Blue Ranger costume? Or Ninja. What was I just talking about?
You talk about
The artist.
Pink! I'm sidetracked. I love her. You guys seen her live? That girl's incredible. Boy, does she connect, right? When she's doing it, and her flying around on those. I saw her in Toronto at the beginning of the last tour, and she was like, it was like Cirque du Soleil. It was incredible. Anyway, so I like to sing Glitter. I do, when I'm having karaoke in my kitchen for New Year's. My take on lip syncing? I just watched the Jimmy Fallon on YouTube. Like, I thought, hilarious, right? Is he bringing lip syncing back or something? It's awesome. It didn't go anywhere? Oh, I went somewhere. I went to mommyhood, just out of the loop. I don't know, I haven't thought about it, but that Jimmy Fallon, just like YouTube Jimmy Fallon, and he lip sync competitions all the time with his buddies on the Tonight Show. It's so funny, you guys. It's awesome.
So let's move right along to your films. So you did Bent and Lines, 2 short films. What was the biggest differences between those two?
Bent, I had no idea what came after shooting. So I wrote it, I got a producer, and I knew how to be on set, and I knew how to shoot, and I knew how to, just naturally, I guess, I knew how to direct. I don't know, I really like it. I felt very much at home wearing that hat. It was the post-production that I had no idea, and I didn't hire a post-supervisor, because I did not know you needed one. And there's a lot that goes into it. The sound, the picture, the color in the picture, the music, laying the music in, so the learning curve was huge for me. It was a lot. It was really scary, and I just kept trudging through and figured it out. So I went into Lines. I wasn't nervous. I knew I had so much more to learn, but at least I knew what happened after we wrapped. I knew the process. I was the post supervisor. When I have more money, I'll definitely hire somebody for that job. But I was running around with the tapes and bringing them to here, and then the color, and I find the post stuff so out of my element. So that's where my learning curve still really is. It's funny when you're looking at color on a film and you're fixing it and changing it. If you sit there looking at it for too long, I find I can't even see anymore. I can't even tell. I have to step away, and so I've learned to. The biggest thing I've learned is to really let go and people do their jobs. Let the person who I've hired to color the film to do a pass and color it, and then come in. And not try to do every single job myself, because first of all, there's so many talented people out there that are professionals in each individual thing, that why not let them do what they're good at? And and watch and learn. So letting go for me.
So, and you said earlier that you are now working on a feature.
I am. Hopefully, we're going to shoot this summer. We'll see. I've applied to a couple different grants. And a couple different, there's this one challenge going on, we're waiting to hear, hopefully hear soon. And and that, what was I saying? Sorry, I was looking in the back, I saw Jared. Hey Jared, is Jason gonna come?
Well, I don't know.
Huh? Yeah, text him, although his phone's off. I tried to call. Anyway, what was I saying? What were we talking about? Oh, the feature. So I just finished writing the script. It's called The Space Between. Super excited about it. Do you guys know the band Rummy Zero?
Yes.
Okay, so August St. John Tate, who's the lead singer, he has two, if you notice, he has a song in Bent and in Lines. That's his song, Million, is at the end. Anyway, he's going to write a song for The Space Between, and the ironic, crazy, weird thing is when I emailed him and asked him, he said, send me a phrase that he could work off, and he emails back and he goes, okay, this is so weird. The name of his new band and album is called The Negative Space Between. I know! So that was kind of meant to be. So I finished writing that, and
What's the feature about?
it's basically Bent, but after. So she has her baby, and she has really bad postpartum depression, and Amelia comes to sort of get her out of her depression. And Amelia's conflict is that she hasn't been home in 2 years since her mother passed away, and she hasn't seen her dad And so she needs to sort of reconcile with her father. Anyway, it's a comedy, it's a road trip, and a comedy in the sense that Lines is a comedy, right? So there's still, what is it, like a poignant comedy or whatever, where I want you to cry a little bit some places. A dramedy, oh thanks. It's a dramedy. Huh? Baby has red hair. Oh yes, the baby does.
So, any questions about her? All right. Raise your hand again, obviously.
The question is, do you have any advice for new filmmakers? I just graduated in December, and just any advice you could give?
Because I'm one too, right? Oh my God. I don't know. For me, 2 years ago, I was on Cape Cod, and this kid, 21, was on the Cape making a film. And he got in contact with my agent, and so I said, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So I went to his set. It was called Summer Song. There was about 20-year-olds shooting a movie. And I was so blown away and inspired by these kids and their total tenacity.
Jason just replied and said, I would love to come up, but my line is too long at the moment.
Oh.
And he has a massive thing wrapped around the
That's all right. I'll see him later. Tell him I want to see him.
Okay.
Tell him I can see him later. I need to see him before I leave tomorrow, right? I haven't seen the guy in 20 years. Okay. So anyway, so these kids were making this movie, and it so inspired me. And so I guess, and I think in this day and age with social media, and then also the world of digital, and how, I think we just have to do it. I think we just have to go do it. If you have something to say, we can just, it doesn't have to be $1 million movie. It can be a $10,000 movie. You know what I mean? So I guess, with your, just experience, and I just say start shooting away. Do you want to direct?
Actually, I've directed one, I'm directing one now.
A shorts or?
Two shorts.
Yeah.
But yours inspired me more too, with the ideas.
Yeah, and then the festival route, I think, is a great way to sort of get your feet on the ground and just do. Just work.
We said to step out, so.
What was the most rewarding challenge you faced for either film that you did?
The most rewarding challenge. Well, would probably be the learning curves. That's really rewarding and incredibly challenging. But to step away, I think each film or music video that I do, I'll just walk away knowing that much more. So yeah, but it's always a challenge, right? To get past the hump of what it is you're learning. Yeah. Do you have to go potty?
Okay, let's see.
Of your two films, Bent and Lines, which did you enjoy filming the most? Like, is there one you like more or not?
Both in totally two different ways. Bent, I had so much fun with Sonia. I just love that chick, and I just love working with her, and she's so easy to direct, and so I love that entire process. And because it was my first time, I was a ball of nerves. My sister was on set. She did the crafty trunk. I don't know if you noticed in the thing. She did all the craft service. And I have this thing on my finger, on my hand. You see that bump? It swelled up so huge the second day into shooting. My whole hand was like, it was like stress all went into my hand. So I was obviously very stressed, but I loved it. And then with Lines, it was just fun to wear that hat again and to direct again. But I have to tell you that the most nerve-wracking thing was directing Enrico. He's one of my dearest friends, but he's a tough cookie because he's so good and he demands respect and he's just, and he really gets into his role too. So he'll he played such a jerk, right? So he was kind of like a jerk. What do you think? In a good way. That was very, very nerve-wracking for me, but safe because he is one of my best friends. So it was a really good growing pain for me to direct him because I'm going to be dealing with actors who are that good, hopefully, in the future that demand respect like that. So it was a great practice and great. It was really good, but I found it incredibly intimidating because he's better than I am, right? He's just a better actor. So it was, but it was good. It was good for me. Yeah.
Alright, let's see, there was someone over, yes.
By the way, you guys are so fun. Just sitting here talking about my stuff. I love this. This is really fun. If they were like this, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. What's up?
Hello.
Hi.
I just had two questions. I'm a huge Disney fan. What was it like doing Susie Q back in '95?
I wish I could get that on DVD to show my daughter. They don't have it on DVD, do they?
No, it's on YouTube though. You can look it up.
You have it on DVD?
You can find it on.
You have it for me? Where'd you get that?
Well, it's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. You can just stream it, type it in.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Raquel. That was so fun. So I did that right after Power Rangers. I actually went to shoot with Debbie, who is the producer of Power Rangers. And we were in Australia shooting the movie, and I said, you know what, Shuki, I think I'm ready to go. Like, I've done 100 and whatever, 75, or no, I did 152 episodes. So, like 145 episodes, and I just kind of, I think I'm ready to move on with my career, and, you know. And he said, okay, you can leave if you do like 4 more episodes, and then do this movie, this Disney movie, Susie Q. Well, that's a good deal. Okay, sure. So it was one of the best experiences I think I've ever had. It was fun. It was, I don't know, the whole world was in front of me. It was like I was jumping off the Power Rangers, and he hands me this gift of this quirky, awesome little script, and we shot that in Vancouver, and I loved it. I loved everything about doing that movie, and I'm so excited to have a copy because I didn't think that they made DVDs unless it's just off of. Oh, nice! Yay! Awesome. That's so cool. Yay! I'm gonna watch this with Francesca. Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So I'm a huge fan of Charlie Sheen. So what was it like doing that Spin City episode back in 2000?
Did I kiss him on there? I can't remember. I did. You know what? He was awesome. He came out and would say hi to every extra that was on the set. I don't know. He seemed normal to me, and he was great. He was, at the time, I don't know. And he was incredibly gracious, and I'll remember that about him. Like, he would walk on set, and before he'd go and find a spot and learn the lines and stuff, he would literally go around and say hi to everybody. So I thought that was kind of cool with him. I don't remember the kiss, though. That's weird, right?
Okay, let's see. You know what, Amy, you can.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just gonna make you cry, but that's all right.
Well, do both. No, go ahead, and then you can go after.
When doing Ben, who actually had that idea of that last scene of basically
Taking our tops off in front of the coat?
yes. Were there almost any alternate ideas of like other than just that? Like
No. This is actually true, because most of my art really comes from life. Me and my sis. Because I did. We grew up in a religious cult for about 12 years, from the time I was 2 to 15. And is that 13 years? After we left, when my mom was sick, my mom was dying of cancer. I don't know, I guess we were a little bitter at the time. We were in our mid-20s, mid to late 20s. We would drive through the cult with our tops off. And we would drive through until the cops would come. And it was the same cop. We did it about 3 years in a row. And then you would get the call, and then this certain cop was like, "Oh, I'll take that call." It was on Cape Cod, and I probably shouldn't say names, but anyway, it was a Christian cult, but it was a cult. Not that Christianity is a cult at all. This particular church definitely was a cult. They were extremists, for sure. So yeah, so we would do that. Then my friend Johanna, me, Julie, and Johanna. Yeah, but when I was shooting Ben, for the budget I was shooting it, we couldn't do the drive-by, it was too expensive, and then the cop, and it was just become it's like a whole other thing. So we limited it. So yeah.
Was the yelling almost like therapeutic in a way? It's like, yes, I'm freaking dead.
Yeah. I think the last time we went, we were doing cartwheels on the front lawn naked. Okay. Oh, then what was your question?
My question is,
Of course, I was 28 and I felt really like I said earlier.
my question is, I'm a struggling actor with disabilities. It's hard for me to memorize things, and a lot of community theaters say oh, you'll have a chance, and it turns out they just say oh no, we don't want you.
Right.
And so, what would you give advice to for someone who might think about saying, forget auditioning, start your own theater company?
I would say go ahead and do that. That sounds awesome. Okay. What about improv?
I'm not very good at it.
But practice. You could get better because you don't have to remember lines with that. It's just basically responding. And I haven't done a lot of improv, but I think it's you just have to always remember yes, and then it just keeps going from there. But
thank you for answering the question.
And another thing, I had such trouble, especially with hormones when I was pregnant, remembering lines on the set of Flashpoint. So I would pull a Marlon Brando, and I would write the lines out and then tape them, and then I would basically kind of, not all the time, but if on days where I just, they weren't sticking in my head, I would cheat, and I would write the lines on little cue cards for myself. Yeah.
Okay, one more question about her films.
How about Red Cow?
Loving that hoodie.
I do like that hoodie too. No, that was David's. No, I just wore it.
My question is, after you're done your feature film over the summer, are you going to start production on Crazier Than You?
Hopefully. Yeah, I really want a feature under my belt. Maybe 2. Because Crazier Than You is a screenplay that I wrote basically based off of my mom's story. Her journey into a cult, journey out of a cult, and her passing away of cancer. It is a dramedy. Doesn't sound like it, but it is. Because that's life, right? And that is so dear and special to me. And my dream was always to play my mom, but I think at this point I just want to direct it and get some, who Tatiana Maslany is? I want her to play Chrissy, 17, 28, and 35. It kind of chronicles her life. So I'm going to be patient and really wait until I have a budget of $5 million to do it. And I I don't need to shoot it just to shoot it. Space Between is written for a low budget to get that first feature under my belt, maybe one more, or maybe I'll be ready for Crazier Than You, I'm not sure. But hopefully within 5 years, right? Although, God, it takes 3 years to make a movie, but we'll see. At some point, when it's right. Yeah.
You've won awards for your screenplay?
What is it?
You've won awards for...
2. Yeah. Crazier Than You won 3rd place in the Wright Brothers Canadian Film Festival, and then it won the Long Island Film Festival Black Tie Screenplay Award. So that was pretty cool, just to sort of start the energy into it. And yeah, I'm really excited about that one.
Well, you know what I'm excited about?
What?
This next segment. Right here.
Okay.
See, this is the Power Ranger segment.
Okay.
So,
I'm excited about that one too.
So, of course, I'll just start it off and then, of course, get ready with your questions as I come around. But just talk about your audition process and what it was like for you to go through that.
Well, I remember at the time, I was taking a commercial class from Katie Wallens, because my philosophy when I moved to Hollywood was classes, 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 student films, just not looking for an agent. Well, I'll get an agent when it's time. So I did Katie Wallens' commercial workshop, and then she said that she was holding these auditions for, at the time it was called Dino Rangers, I think. And so I went, and I don't know, I think feels like it might have been like a week process where they teamed us up with like different groups of 5, and then we were just like the last men standing, or whatever you want to call it. Right? They kept having us come in and do routines together, and it was the 5 that were cast we were put together right off the bat, which is interesting. They didn't mix and match people throughout the process. It was like, that was just it. And so, hi guys. So I love your shirt. Yeah, does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that people have questions out here. All right, I will get to the person in blue. Was anything, while I get to the person in blue, what was the hardest part about that audition process?
I don't know, I was just psyched that I had gymnastics under my belt. You know, because I really think at the time that's what got me the part. Because I could stand there and do a flip, and I think that really helped. Because in my head, when I read the script, I totally pictured Kimberly Hart, blonde, and I had this friend named Sunny. And she was, she in my head was Kimberly. I don't know why. It's always been that way. I never pictured her brunette. I don't know why. I've never even said that before. But to go back to the thing about the agent and stuff. So I didn't have an agent when I got Power Rangers, and I didn't get an agent until right before I left. I don't know if that matters, but. Hi.
Hi. My name's Andy, and I've always wanted to ask, in the original Mighty Morphin, before Tommy came, it seemed like you and David's character Billy were really close. Do you think there was a little something more there, or they're just really, really good friends?
I think just really good friends.
She didn't want
I think Billy might have thought there was something there. Let's call him an answer. No, I don't know. But he pointed out to me, I guess in the movie, I was such a little, as he would, who's
I have one.
that?
Censorship.
Ignored me.
He called me can I say the word? There's kids here, B-I-T-C-H. Because when we were, because every time he would stand next to me in like a fight sequence or something, I would kind of go like this, like I'm protecting him. He would get so mad at me. I don't really remember that, but I probably did do that. Okay.
I'm leaving.
So I know you were saying Francesca's never seen Susie Q. Have you ever sat and watched any of your Power Rangers episodes with her? And if so, what has she thought about them?
I've seen, I think like 3 of them we watched. You know, she liked it. At first it was kind of a trip for her, about a year ago, and she was still 4. and she would like tell everybody for like a minute, and then now I don't know. It's just kind of matter of fact for her. She's like, yeah, my mom's Power Ranger. I don't know what she thinks. I have no idea. Who knows what goes through a 5-year-old's head, right? But sometimes I do hear. Oh, this is the best story, you guys. So she gets locked in the bathroom with her little friend Claire and Leia. Locked in the bathroom. We were at a friend's house. We're having a barbecue. And all of a sudden we hear screaming in the bathroom. So we go upstairs. Frankie's panicking. They're all locked in there. We can't get the door open. We literally had to unscrew the entire door and take the door off its hinges to get her out, to get the 3 of them out. But while we're doing that, I can hear Frankie's panicking, and I hear Claire go, "It's okay, Frankie. Your mom's a Power Ranger. She'll get us out." I have it on video too. I have that video of them in there. I thought that was hilarious. So you know what? I have no idea what that girl's thinking.
So you were just saying, well, how you were like, you came to shoot, you said, I'm ready to go, my time's done here, I'm free, whatever. What prompted you then to come back to Turbo, and how do you feel about your role there? And I guess what was that experience?
Right, I came back. I was broke. It took about 2 years, I think. I did Susie Q, and then that was it. Like, nothing for a while. And I decided, I took the advice I took when I had first got to town, and I just did classes and plays and just focused on trying to get better as an actress. And then I think Shuki called again. He's like, hey, we're doing a sequel, and we'll pay you this. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll come back. Why not?
When he first asked you, did you think he was going to ask you to be a Power Ranger again, or did he preface, no, you're not being Power Ranger, you're just going to be...
No, he told me right off the bat, do you want to come back? I'm like, yeah. It was sort of like that.
All right, next person, all right.
I think a lot of people here, one of their favorite episodes is where you and David switch places. Do you want to talk a little bit about that episode and what you
Yeah, I had some fun episodes with David, didn't I? We had the switching places, we had the punks, the power plant. Those were the most fun as an actor, and like a beginning writing actor or whatever. It was really fun to do those parts. The switching places. Yeah. Was that, which one did we catch on fire? Did he ever tell you that? Oh my God, we totally caught on fire in one of them, me and David. They had us, I think it was the pump. Did we go in a machine to get switched?
Yes.
That machine blew up. Well, all of a sudden there's smoke, and we're smelling it, and me and David are like in the machine, and anyway, that was a nightmare.
So the smoke on the screen was a part of it, was supposed to be there, was it?
No, was there smoke on the screen? Yeah, that was fire. Fire. I remember, did I hang over a volcano with David in the Turbo movie?
That was Jason.
Oh, Austin. Well, yeah, that was scary too, because there was fire down there, and I screamed, "Get me over here!" That was crazy, because it was non-union. The things that they had us do was insane. I remember at one point, they had us walk across this beam. What were we doing? And it was like up there. We were not strapped in or anything. I just remember going, this was the worst. Okay, so in the Turbo movie, we were swimming in scuba gear or whatever. What were we doing? We were underwater. And this low budget film, they had lights all around the pool, and they were not waterproof lights. No. And thank God, at one point, when we were all out of the pool, I don't know why we were all out of that pool, because God was watching us, the light fell into the pool. Yeah, guys. There was a lot, fighting for our lives on that show. It was crazy. And then it went union after I left, and then they probably all get residuals really remember. You know, almost died a few times, but that's it. That was it. I don't remember getting any injuries. I was quite nimble back then. Yeah?
Oh, wait, please.
Oh, sorry, Lisa, I keep forgetting.
All right.
Running around with it. Go ahead.
Do you ever,
Shout it out.
do you ever wish, or have you ever had times where being a Power Ranger has overshadowed what you're trying to do, and you almost wish it had never been a part of your life? So I've talked to some other ones, and they kind of have that same kind of.
I think about 10 years ago, I may have been afraid of that. Never actually feeling it, because 10 years ago, I was on Felicity, and everything was kind of going. At this point in my career, no, I embrace it. I think it's awesome. Most of those people, like you guys, really support my career, which is amazing. I think I was more afraid of that, I think about 10 years ago than now. I used to, I was like, I'm not gonna wear pink and oh. What is that? Oh, that's someone's ring. People have the strangest ring. Like, it sounded like an alarm clock or something. Yeah, I don't know how else to answer that. I mean, now it's just kind of an interesting, cool little past that I have, I think.
Will you say hi to Bailey?
Hi, Bailey. Are you doing okay? Are you getting sleepy? Aw, thanks for coming, baby. How old are you? 6. Oh, Frankie's 5. I should have brought Franks. You guys could be running around playing. She can't wait to be 6. Yeah, she's talking about, when I'm 6, Mom. I'm like, you just turned 5. Slow down.
Who has not
I'm gonna
asked
let
a
Lisa
question?
do her job.
I am invisible.
Did you ever think you would Power Rangers would ever be this big when you first started it?
When we were first filming it, no. But the first week that it went on, the air, we all kind of knew because it was a little crazy. It was like bigger than the Cabbage Patch Kids. That Christmas. But wow, that was a big deal. The year before was the Cabbage Patch Kids, right? And then it was the Power Rangers. And it was that first show at Universal when the bus comes pulling up. We're all in the bus to go do our little Universal show, and it was like crazy crowds. I think we had to do 4 shows to fit everybody in there. And I had nightmares after. I went home and I had crazy, crazy nightmares. I was so overwhelmed. It was quite frightening for me I think I was 22. Yeah, I didn't expect it. And it was non-union, and I don't think we were very protected at the time either.
What was it like working with like Austin and Trini and Walter, and then going and working with Karen, Adam, and Steve?
Right. I don't know. It was weird. It was like, we were like a family, and then all of a sudden, like overnight, they were gone. Like half of them were gone, and then so it took a moment to sort of be like, oh, okay, I kind of miss my family. And then we all went to Australia together and just totally bonded and had a blast, and they became the new family, right?
And you're my idol. I love you.
Aw, thank you.
Were you always interested in the arts? Because now you're doing, music and you started acting. Was there any other career avenues that you were interested in, or was it always?
No.
You always interested in acting?
Yeah, I didn't know what it was going to be. It's funny because from the time I was 7, I knew I wanted to perform. And even when I was 19, I went to school in New York. I went to the American Musical Dramatic Academy and took tap lessons. I've never danced my entire life. I was a gymnast. Took tap, and I was going to do musical theater, and I didn't know. I knew I wanted to perform, and that was it. And then it's evolved. Just filmmaking is only in the last 5 or 6 years that maybe I thought about it 10 years ago. I didn't have the guts or the drive to go there, and then only in the last couple of years have I fully switched gears. But I guess. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. No, go ahead.
Oh no, I just want to finish. I guess at the time, I remember my mom and I went into the guidance counselor's office because she was asking, what college do you want to go to? And I was like, I'm going to New York. I'm going to be an actress, performer, whatever. And she's like, okay, that's great. But what's something else that you would want to do? I'm like, nope, that's it. And they're like, well, you really need a backup. I'm like, no backup. So I knew what I wanted, for sure. Yeah.
So I just want to remind everyone we have like a little less than 5 minutes for the Q&A. So
Amy?
any questions regarding music or films or Power Rangers or anything, now's the time. And
I got one involving Power Rangers.
okay, you know what? He's been raising his hand.
You go ahead.
You've been raising your hand the whole time.
Hi. Kimberly, I'm Zach.
Hi, Zach.
And I have a question for you. Do you miss being the Pink Ranger?
Do I miss being the Pink Ranger?
Yes.
I look back on that time incredibly fondly. Do I miss it? Yeah, sometimes. I don't know. I miss the traveling, the camaraderie. We partied so hard, you guys. We really did. We partied really hard. It was a really fun time. I miss that time. It was so new. Everything was so fresh and new. And yeah, I mean, I just want to say, I think I don't like to regret anything, or miss anything too much, because then I'm not where I am right now. So,
yeah.
Miss it? No. Look back on it fondly, yes.
All right, I'm just Brighton and Jetty in the front row.
I was just wondering, what's one of your favorite memories or most fun memories from being on Power Rangers?
Partying. It was really fun though. We had a lot of fun. I remember. Can I be candid?
Yes.
Whatever. Okay, so one time I was on the set and I used to like to smoke pot every now and then with the electricians and the grips. And I remember having to go sit in my Zord. And I had to say, I don't know, whatever I had to say in my Zord, and I'm high as a kite. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking out at all the grips and electricians and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like total reality check. Like, who am I? What am I doing? I'm in pink spandex, camera in front of me. This is so weird. That was fun.
I think we have about time for 2 more questions.
Hi, Amy. You've mentioned your tap and all of your gymnastics that you did as a youth.
I don't tap. I do that.
But now that you're a young mother, how important do you think it is that in the entertainment that your children watch, that they see those people out doing things and practicing to get better instead of just hanging around the living room or just being in a basement playing video games? How important is it to see that activity?
Oh, for youth, for kids?
Yes.
Yeah, it is important. And I'm dealing with that with Francesca, because she loves her iPad, and she loves to be on it. And it's like, Frankie, but she's an active kid. She loves gymnastics, she loves dancing, she loves being in the park. So then there's a time and a place to chill out, and do your little iPad and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's important to me to teach that to Frankie, for sure, that there's moderation in everything. Yeah.
All right, we got one last question, so you better make it good. Okay, this one and that. All right.
Oh, sorry. First of all, hi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. 2 questions, if you don't mind. First of all, what is your favorite all-time inspirational quote? And number 2 is, what was it like working on the set of ABC Family's Wildfire as Tina Sharp as that character?
Okay. Inspirational quote. The only one that pops into my head so really quick, because that's what was that quote? Although I don't know if it applies to my life anymore, but I used to love it. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The great gift is he who in the midst of a crowd can keep with perfect something, gracefulness, the gifts of solitude. How I interpreted that, I just quoted that very wrong. If somebody could actually Google it and tell me what the actual quote is, that would be great. To me, in my 20s, I used to love reading Emerson, and that was really to find your individuality and your strength in yourself, and be able to remain that person even in a crowd of people, even among your friends, and just to find your values in who you are. Okay. Oh, and the second one was wildfire. That was a party too. Oh, yes. We were in Arizona, and it was awesome. I had so much fun. I had so much fun with those guys. I was there for 13 weeks, I remember, and we became a little family in those 13 weeks, and we had a blast. And I was the old lady on set. They were all like in their early 20s, and I was in my early 30s, and it was awesome. I loved it. I loved riding the horses, and it was great. I would go back and do that again.